Team number 3 is ready, guys. Erangel coming at ya. All right, we are up and over, starting out on top of Novo, heading up to the northwest a bit, but it's a pretty steep plane path, maybe leading us down to Sosnovka Island to start this one out. We'll see, though. Still a lot of areas available. Out the gate is a Freak of Freaks who do like to go to the Milta Power area. That is their historical home here in Korea and in Asia.
Yeah, pero going into that military base, they're going to be controlling the entire island for themselves. If they get the circle, then it's great, but everything else, except for those military circles, it's going to be hard for them to rotate in and out. Let's see the contest from Pochinki. And 4 a.m. BLG.
Oh boy, they're separated. This is BLG is nowhere near going for the schools.
They're going for the ruins.
The sunken city. They might be kind of hedging their bets because they might go to Razak.
Genji.
Oh, Genji.
Genji, Tiamba.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Buckle up, because here we go. Two of the best in the world squaring off over South George. Genji not interested in ceding this territory as they have in the past. You guys are in for a treat here. These two teams always fighting over these bottom 6.
Not a bad circle for a big fight, even if this takes long. Center circle.
They're in the doors first, so Genji beats them to those middle buildings. Oh my god.
Thank you. Loki. Looking at a barrel, okay? Pretty nice. Oh, and a punching fight, but Pio comes in to help.
Lin Shun punched an Onyx, but Pio is quick enough with the Vector to get Lin Shun down and out. So far, Genji a 1-for-0, potentially, depending if they're able to get an Onyx up here. Now Tianba shifting over to this because they know that there isn't anything in the hands for an Onyx just yet. And on top of that, of course, the res has to come through, but a bunch of damage being done on the backside as they try to transition over to this fight.
But still, that rotation was being read and got some shots down from Aqua 5, so it should be easy, and they should be having good idea, at least a couple of Tianba where they are right now with that rotation. As now they should be hearing these footsteps going up to the stairs. Might be a big challenge, as we see a lot of closer good guns right there from Genji.
I love what Loki's doing. Loki knows that he's relatively safe up there, but M200's going to get a knock onto an Onyx. That's number 2, so that's problematic. Pio's just got a Vector, but there's a barrel here. That's a much better gun to have in this situation. M200's going to push on in. Pio's trying to hold it down, but the barrel is just too good, and Pio isn't able to get a grip fast enough. So that's going to be Pio down and out, and Onyx surely going to follow. Now we're just blasting on in through the doors with the DBS, and here comes Loki and Aqua 5 to try to secure Lorena.
Yeah, this is the moment. Exactly peeking out, and then look for that sweet shot, but here comes.
Oh, just in time is Loki. Lorena almost gets 2. But the DBS just pre-fired a bit too early there. Now grenades are going to be flying in here. This is problematic, except that this is really smart here by Genji and Aqua 5. They get outside. They avoid grenade range, really.
2 for 2. Almost 2 for 3 here. He's buying that time to get that res. This means he has to heal back up. There was also a knock from GEX. CC actually got that long shot from, I believe, all the way from the hospital side. And did not really help Tianba in their way.
Yeah, you've got Aqua 5 watching the stairs to give the information safely for Loki potentially, but it is going to be them backing off of that as they come up. M200 runs back downstairs. Now Ming, he's got a grenade, and he's thinking about trying to pop it on up there. Finally, Genji feels that they're comfortable enough to go for this res. That grenade right on the feet, and it's going to take down Aqua 5 with it. Does a little bit of damage to Loki as well. Loki still with that DBS trying to hold the line, and M200 actually came up the stairs once. Now he's got to try it again.
Gotta go right now, Loki, trying to get that shot. No damage really being connected there, but just getting some done, but no real big shot. Damn it, that's always a big risk when you have that shotgun.
Yeah, if you whiff those shots in the shotgun, you don't have the ability to regroup with your spray like you do with an assault rifle. So for Genji, they lose the battle. Take down 2 with them at least, but this makes me kind of question going forward, what is Genji's strategy going to be? Lipovka was left open. Now
Lipovka's open.
Could have been potentially because of the plane path, but it's hard to say for sure because if you're Gen G and you're gunning for a championship, you can't be doing this. Neither can Tianba, to be fair, but Tianba's just shown that they are just insane. They will just fight this till the last breath.
I think Gen G might be going for another challenge and then have a solution right after that, after the first day. Because Lipovka's open, not just that, Prison mentioned, so it's a big eastern side basically open for any other team to contest. So that's a big loss for Gen G. They got 2 kills, but that's not enough for them.
4AM reaching out up to Potato Mountain, and Entus made an early exit. This is a very early rotation for Entus, and they come through and they completely tear through 4AM right now. There is not much left for them to hold on to, and Forever realizes it.
Yeah, did not really expect Entus to get up here so quickly after dropping from Pochinki. Usually they would stay and go towards the south side, lower mountain compared to this Potato Mountain, but made a quick rotation into the eastern side, knowing that 4 AM, there was no contest against Verlu Givli, so likely they will come down immediately. Good read by OGN there.
Yeah, really smart. Again, good coaching here for OGN to make this decision. Normally, OGN does like to go down to like the sushi houses that are kind of to the southeast of Pochinki there, but this time they're coming through and completely wrecking 4 AM's day to start. 4 AM didn't have to fight over the apartments, but it's going to be Entus this time to put the nail in their coffin early. What is Hikari doing? He heard this fighting and was kind of pushing up there, seeing if he could pick off something from it. Instead, he's going to be the one potentially being picked on.
Under's got to be careful, though, at the same time, as there are a few other members. But it's been covered by lots of trees. It's going to be helping him out. And spotted. Woo! And the shots.
Oh, Under gets some decent damage. It took a little bit for him to get the angle and get the kind of lead on the shots, but there is the rest of Ghibli here to back up their teammates. So I think for Hikari, the escape should be makeable. Once he gets down to these dog houses, he should be A-okay.
Well, I do have a feeling that VLG is going to try to contest against 4 AM in the next match or tomorrow because they ended up getting those apartments now, and they're also in school area right after 4 AM left their spot.
It's pretty typical for VLG to do this when they've seeded these apartments. They wait for the other team to leave the apartments and then they come in and take it if it's in the circle. So that's kind of what they've been liking to do. Now, on your map here, Entus still set up on Potato Mountain. There's still a couple members of 4 AM on the bottom. Now, they had to back off to the there's names for this compound that I can't say on air, but it's the area in between the school and Pochinki, and for now, I think 4 AM isn't planning on leaving that anytime soon.
Yeah, those compounds are actually pretty good. From the mountainside, you're not in danger of any kind unless you're just peeking out from the window all the time. Also, you have the chance to go towards the hill, towards all the water buildings. If you really have to go towards that northern side, or even cross those small rivers, if the next circle actually goes north. You're all the way at the bottom here. 50 is going to be just looting out from the sushi houses and maybe look for a big rotation on towards that Potato.
So these new ferry ports that have come in, let's listen to this first.
저희가 밀타파워가 이제 프릭스가 엄청 오래됐거든요. 밀타파워를 먹은
It's been a long time for Freaks to actually control the Milta
되게 잘
power.
아는 것 같아서
And I think we have a pretty good
그쪽 라인에
understanding
저희가
of
계속
it.
먹으면 좋은 성적을 유지하지 않을까 이란겔에서
And as long
이란겔은 저희가 계속
as we keep the
자기장을
landmarks,
따라가면서
I think we
갔거든요.
should be having good
끌라인을
points.
타면서 갔는데 중국팀 플레이 방식에 따라 좀 변화가 될 것 같아요.
And in terms of rotation, depending on how the Chinese teams actually make
좀 더 공부를 하고 연구를 해봐야지 알 것 같아요.
their own rotation, I think we have to do a lot more studies and research before after bumping into them.
That's smart. That's really smart. I mean, these first couple days are really just kind of poking and prodding the other teams to see what they want to do, to kind of understand their mindsets and how they're making their rotations. Now, the Freaks do have the 2-2 split across the road, the traditional kind of 2-2 split up there by Milta, but they're making an early exit, and this is really smart. Afrika's on the gun here early to get those center circles.
They can do this because they were the ones landing towards the Milta power, so no parachutes going down towards Prison, towards Lipovka, towards Mansion. They know that likely there's no one on that northeastern side, so they can make these long, quick rotations, knowing that there's no one else.
Exactly. They're heading into the compounds just to the southwest of the museum. And that is very, very open, of course. There's a crate there, an MK14. You'll love to see it if you're Mamu. No doubt about it. The gun that is just absolutely nuts. That is the most favored gun, I'd say, if you're going to pick one. The AWM is nice, but the Mark 14, oh, careful here. That's okay. Just doing a little styling, just a few style points for 4AM.
Style points, but when you have 2 members, those style points can become a death on your team.
At least it's not a motorcycle. if you flip that motorcycle and both of you die on it, that's a real feels bad, man. And I think for now 4AM can't really go too much deeper. There isn't a lot available here.
Just trying to scout for any open, empty houses, but that's not. Yeah, that's not going to be an easy spot to look for right now, as most of it's being controlled by all the other teams.
Well, they're going to try something.
They're
Hikari.
Oh.
Yeah, Hikari finds Zenon. There was a fight going on here.
Eventually into VLG.
I know, K7, so they're going to try it. I guess I like the idea. Try to third-party something, but you're into VLG. And this is kind of the fight away from the fight. And now we've got 2 knocked here, Spear and Hikari, but it is going to be Hikari who takes down 4AM. Nothing doing for 4AM there. That was a little bit ill-advised, I'd say. Plus, you also have Entus on the back of the hill that can watch that.
Yeah, after checking out all those other houses on the eastern side, northern and eastern side of the school and apartment, said, okay, we really don't have anyone else to go because there will be teams coming down from the Potato Mountains. 4AM just said, okay, bump in. Let's try to get any kills if we can with just 2 members left. Still no kills coming out here.
I'm fine with the play call. I mean, you know there's a fight going on here. You've seen the kill feed. You know there's knocks on both sides. Might as well try and try to take advantage of the chaos. But in this case, it's just Hikari, who is so good. He's another one of those players, G-Cliff. I want to talk about this role in Korea. The Potop is what it's called in Korean. It literally translates to turret.
Turrets, basically you are not even moving, just with your Q and E, left and right, poking out, and you're leaving the other teammates, the 3 other teammates or 2 other teammates to approach the enemies. So you are supposed to be the one lining down the sights at the same spot, so your teammates are safe from taking any more damage. That's exactly what the role is supposed to be for, and you're supposed to be the best shooter from the team.
The best sniper especially. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of similar to the idea of an anchor.
Yes.
What a lot of NA and EU teams and coaches and players and analysts and everything refer to it as an anchor. It's a little bit similar to that, but it isn't quite the same.
Yeah, as Potap, usually you don't even make those shot calls. You literally just stay in a spot and shoot. You don't even go for those small rotations. That's exactly your role. Get the shots right so you can get the knocks so the other members can actually approach them and pick up those kills or take the spots away.
I think it's really nice to just be able to focus on that. Speaking of nice things, there's another code up there for you guys.
Yes.
Get that on in. Spam the chat with it so everyone has a chance. And go ahead and open up your PUBG client.
Be nice and make sure you have the right spelling when you have the copy and paste. Because I've been tricked by a lot of other people out there.
I like it when people just spam random codes and everybody's like, that code didn't work. I'm like, well, they're trolling you,
and the
bro.
other person copies that code into paste. And I've been tricked a couple of times.
All right, so this circle is super weird because the eastern half of it is kind of barren. There's some dips in the middle of it that are playable. The western side of it has a lot of the trees and stuff, so it's a little more forgiving for the teams to come into. Oof, oh no, Longskir's going down early here. Dumbo finds him. That's a big loss for infantry. Infantry has not been able to get it going here yet.
Yeah, I like that small walkway near that Potato Mountain. That's exactly where you control from the Penta, the Wizard House, and some shacks there as OPGG is just keeping F50 out coming from that south. As it can be okay because there are lots of trees. Even if you come close, you don't really go down because of all those trees.
Ooh, good shooting here by Gokuri. Again, I mentioned earlier, he's been playing well recently in the OSM. He was the top fragger for Detonator, and they won a game in the OSM as well, and that's against Korean teams. A lot of the teams that you're seeing here from Korea and Japan and Chinese Taipei were in that event. So it was kind of a preview for this, and I was impressed with Detonation Gaming White. It's why I keep my eyes on them at every international, because I'm just waiting. Oh my god, under. It's just nasty.
14th place after 15th.
Yeah, it's been tough. They're still hanging out in third, but that might not last longer, depending on what K7, 4AM, Entus, Gen G, OPGG, all around 14, 15 points there. It's going to be interesting, but going back to Detonation Gaming White, I am waiting for them to break through at an international. I feel like the potential is there, and oh no,
they're
infantry.
willing to drive into the spot?
Oh no, you can't send it. You can't send it into this dip. The tempo dip is already occupied by New Happy here. And that is going to be one knock, but that is it.
That dip is one of the most popular dip in Erangel in history. And you have to expect maybe just send one person and check first and then go for that drive, but that was reckless, I want to say.
Well, infantry does this. These circles, I've seen this a couple times from infantry where they'll just send it at the Alamo, which is the compound to the northeast where Griffin is right now. You can see that on your radar there. Sometimes they sent it at it was element 36 during a previous event and just got wiped out. And here again, they kind of get a little bit too ambitious, and they send it at stuff that's, I mean, of the spots to take, if you can get into that dip properly, maybe you get lucky and you run someone over when you're flying in there. But in this case, New Happy just stands tall and just shreds them.
Yeah, it is certainly a spot hard to check when you're coming from the south side, and they were also challenged from OPGG to go around. And the next circle shifts a little bit towards that western side. OGN, Entus still in the great control. That's a great spot off from all the other eastern teams that has to bump into them now.
Yeah, Entus is doing a really nice job here, working their rotations, keeping other teams backed off of them, setting up the pick early on onto 4AM. So far looking like they've really done their homework coming into this game. Ghibli has to work from the northwest side with MCG raining it down on top of them. You got to be careful here if you're Spear getting across this road. It can be a bit challenging, just like any road in competitive PUBG, but looks like he might be able to get away with it.
Yeah, with some angles being covered from the southern side, they might be okay, but MCG might be raining down bullets when they are supposed to come into that next circle. So Griffin making that big rotation again, trying to look for this dip. But if they go a little bit too far, they have to go challenge against New Happy.
Well, you got to go into Sun Sister here. There's no other option now. There's no choice, and it's good headshot by Polly with the bolt. Ooh. Gonna find Lambu. Kendes lighting him up now with the AK. Gets a bit of damage in there.
That vehicle's gone.
Oh, that's one, that's two. Crazy Sam and Kendes gonna finish Ghibli off. They had no choice. They had to clown car it. Sun Sister shots, and that opening headshot from Polly with the bolt. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, the only thing they could have done is maybe survive for the next few minutes and take some more blue damage, then come in, which will be still about the same situation that we have just seen.
I'm 1,000,000% fine with what VLG did there. That's their best option. Send it in there. Sun Sister's a little bit spread out, but Sun Sister's shooting just too good that time around, and that's the risk you have to take. EJ stuck in a shack. Speaking of bad situations, this one is really unfortunate, but if you can hold off in this shack, the problem with this shack is not, if you can get close enough, it's not too hard to get a grenade in there or something. It's very exposed.
Yeah, you might just have to force yourself out, but you've got a lot of vehicles, so Griffin, I think they are considering just jumping in after taking a few peeks into K7 and maybe going towards that top hill where Entus might get a hit, but it might be okay because they had a lot of vehicles that should cover at least a few angles from the side.
All right, Griffin is making their move. They're outside of the circle. They're going to have to run potentially in a New Happy here, or they might just realize that there's too many teams there. I mean, it's so hard, G-Clef.
I think they should use the vehicles. Yes, they're
okay.
Yeah, jumping in again after seeing that many smokes coming down from Afrika. This is our time to actually go.
I like it. I think they were just getting information first, and then they're gonna make their move. So they're waiting on this. They do have Detonation Gaming white up to the north if they want to push through that direction, and I think they probably have a pretty good idea. I think we've seen Detonation Gaming white in the kill feed. There is Ming Ming getting it done on to Dangche. This guy, again, keep your eyes on the prize here, because this guy can light up the scoreboard. We saw it in the PCL, tied for most frags in the PCL qualifiers. A good grenade from Jiao. He's going to find the knock onto Hansia.
Yeah, a good spot to take away. Afrika was able to... it was almost possible for them to challenge in, but it's not going to be easy as they have to go across and into that peak. As Griffin would also try to dominate right on top of the OGN, still at dead center.
They love it. It's a magnet right for Entus right now. EJ's gonna step out. He's gonna get one. Gonna get the finish on to Lycna. Tries to come around the corner, but Ming is there to finish the job. The Freaks go out in 11th place. Now I'm really curious what Griffin's gonna do. I thought they might try to third party on this, but it was a little too clean here, I feel like, for New Happy.
Yeah, New Happy not really losing too much and actually grabbing a lot of those points, partially due to Ifty just running into them. OPGG down below were challenged. Pero actually came against them. pushing from the side did not really make any sound. OPGG must have thought they were going to pick more teams coming from the south, but if they're rotating out, I think they should have already made that earlier rotation. They shouldn't be here until this time.
Yeah, it is a bit late. I agree with you there. Oh, Griffin's just gonna send it in here. This is I don't know about this. This is crazy. They're gonna get one. It's Asura quickly taken down and out. He is able to give some information, but quickly that's 2 down for Griffin. Juanita found out between K7 and New Happy. Ooh. Good grenade right in front of Mean Sung there has him very, very hurt. It's all up to 2 heart for Griffin. Has the angle on to Ming Ming, but hasn't been able to pull the trigger just yet. Ming Ming might have seen him there indeed. Ming Ming did see it, but 2 heart, got one, not good enough. It is going to be XKK that comes through and finishes Griffin's round.
Yeah, you would be saying, why didn't they try a few minutes ago? Because Griffin thought that this has to be the play right now with the new circle, where New Happy is, might actually be the winning position if they can actually keep their spot right there.
Wow, in the background of everything, Detonation Gaming White gets obliterated by MCG. And now MCG looking to do the favor to K7, but a good trade going to come from Lockslock. 1-for-1 here. Savior has been knocked, and the smokes are being thrown out for K7, trying to buy themselves a little bit of time. Meanwhile, I expect if Multi-Circle Gaming does what most Chinese teams do, they are going to swallow K7 and try to just flush them out. But it's going to be Booyo coming up big, getting a knock on the tank.
Yeah, this has to be quick because New Happy is challenging them from behind. K7 might just be sandwiched in the middle of the two, but because of those knocks, MCG, they need a lot of time. So MCG better be left. K7 has to push.
Yeah, here we go. The push is on. They're pushing forward. Now New Happy has gotten in the backside of this. They can see it. Lockslock doing a good job, but he's going to get traded. Summer is down. Evil Lee is going for the flush. It's up to Savior here. He has good information. That grenade right next to Evil Lee is actually a stun. So that's just going to buy a little bit of time here for Savior, as now he wraps in front of, towards the middle of the circle, in front of MCG, and he's got to take him down. What a stand tall moment for K7.
And he's trapped by New Happy and GEX right now. Has no chance of escaping the spot. There's the spray, and New Happy taking K7 down. Left with the final 4 teams, and the magnet stays on OGN. Entus didn't do a single thing. Guys, have fun out there in the fields. We're safe in the compound.
Yeah, and there's only 4 teams left. Now, the worst situation any team is left in right now is 3 players alive. So OPGG is able to rally on the backside.
Exactly.
Come through and find the southern edge free to themselves. Now it's GEX and New Happy. New Happy can go right back to the dip. That is still free, as is the meme. The dip's free, but they are very happy to come back to this. I like the reaching out here by New Happy to go for points, and now they are going to reassess and move forward. It all depends on that important Phase 7 and Phase 8 circle. How much of this dip is going to be left?
See, the challenge from Griffin was the right choice at the end here. Again, going back to this position. For OPGG, there are some trees, but there are actually somewhat of a lot of angle from OGN to actually shoot up here, and that many trees for OPGG to cover. So I think it's just a good idea to maybe even take some blue damage at the next circle, and then just... It's going to be a very hard rotation for them to go down to OGN.Maybe if OGN is being challenged by any other team, but that's might actually not happen in the next few minutes.
Yeah, the timing oh so important in PUBG Esports. With Griffin, good idea, maybe not the right time to try to bop New Happy out of that spot. But in the end, it is going to be New Happy. They're just so mechanically skilled, and now they're on Erangel. Teams tend to kind of get a breath of fresh air when they switch maps. If they didn't do well on Miramar, switch over to Erangel. For whatever reason, it seems like it breathes new life into you. Now, GEX, because New Happy went back to the dip, is able to move up to the northwestern side for free.
GX, they can have some free time here, but the next rotation, I think they just have to get out, and OGN might, depending on where OGN is looking towards, we might just see 3rd place, 4th place finish in the next few minutes. As New Happy, they'll just be happy sitting on that spot.
And this is a nice little compound for OGN, not just because it's in the center of the circle, but also kind of upish on a hill. It has fences around it, so you're allowed to reach out a little bit further because you have the protection of the fence around you. You got to be careful, though, because when OPGG starts spraying down in there, there are some sight lines you can get where you can get a pretty quick knock and flush.
And the only Only chance for New Happy to go in right now is towards the shack and go towards OGN using a lot. I think they did use some amount of resources, but not too many smokes because they've been just sitting on that spot forever. And basically center circle.
Yep, the magnet is strong there for sure.
So OGN's going to decide who's going to be the second place, third place, fourth place finish. As all the other teams, actually, New Happy not waiting a moment. Early movement with the sprays.
Yeah, it's going to be Ming Ming up in front. He's able to get to that shack you talked about just a second ago. Smokes are down to cover the rotations well enough. He took a little bit of damage, but good enough to get to this shack, and that's the important part. The first step. Now, they are sending Zhao way out there. Giao. He is going way out to the north, and he has got XKK following him. And for these guys, they're just...
Yeah, GX, OPGG, just waiting. Come on, guys. You guys move first so we can have an early entry, easy entry. Or maybe even bumping into OGN directly. That might be actually better of a choice.
It's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors, like trying to wait for the other teams, or you would be the first one to make the move. Yeah, here we go. OPGG gonna send it down the hill. It's Dumbo, Silky on the cover, trying to shoot into Entus. Isn't able to find any joy just yet, but that does allow AO and Dumbo.
Nice entry though.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
Well,
now,
they're ready with the nade.
How are the OGN gonna react to this? You've got Under, who is absolutely nuts close range. Can he hold this down? Indigo's got a grenade on the inside. Is he gonna be able to find the knock? He gets it on to AO. Good call-outs, good throwables from Indigo, and AO stuck behind the bed.
OGN Entus, in terms of defending these compounds, known as the best Korean teams in terms of defensive plays. As OPGG did make an entry, but with Silky all the way out towards the mountainside, I think it's going to be hard. Butler just might keep its spot, and Silky.
Dude, Indigo is out of his mind.
Ooh, Ming Ming actually steals the kill.
Oh no, Ming Ming. Good stuff though, that's what you should be doing. And Indigo, for all that hard work, he's only got one kill in the bag so far. For all those knocks he's been able to pull off. Now we do have the res being attempted by Dumbo, as a lot of OGN Entus' attention has been turned to GEX, who is trying to get over this hill.
Because for New Happy, OGN can't really get too much angles as the housing. Because how the house is positioned towards the window side, it's a lot more towards GEX. And the circle shift into GEX. They're actually quite safe with some smokes.
If you can get across the road, if you're GX, if you can get across to the road, get to the western side of this compound, it's doable. You can push this pretty solidly, but OGN is so good on defense, like you mentioned earlier.
OGN feeling it. It's now or never. We have to take out... Ooh, Dumbo Wheel's actually outside, not inside of the house. Yeah, OGN feeling it right now. It has to be. We have to take care of OPGG right now and then grab that chicken dinner now or never.
Yeah, AO is still being attempted to be rezzed. It's been a couple different tries. Kale does escape with his life for now, so Indigo going to be throwing down those smokes. Under still holding the top floor of this compound forever. He is such a tough nut to crack. Dumbo is learning the hard way. I mean, Under, for my dollars to donuts, one of the best Phase 8 and 9 players in the world.
You have to be challenging GEX, not going for those favorable position towards the fences.
Yeah, I think this is a little too cautious, and I think New Happy might just try to wreck GX's day. Good grenades coming in! The throwables onto the money. New Happy brings the hammer down. GEX out in 4th place, but they do suffer 2 knocks as a result.
And OGN Entus, they basically have this one down as long as they are able to get those 2 kills for OPGG. And it seems like there are some smokes still available for New Happy, so those reds can be okay. As long as OPGG... Oh, another knock on AO.
He's so good with those grenades, and Dumbo is trying to hold the door. He gets one, but he's super hurt. Oh! Coming around the corner, good peek by Kale is going to finish the job. Under did get knocked, but he should be resable. That, I believe, is his first knock. And now New Happy trying to stabilize, but only 2 left, as firm control of this game belongs to Entus as they watch Sungjong spraying the shots down. Hasn't connected just yet. A little bit of juking and jiving here from Jiao.
Yeah, the music is intense, but the actual situation is not as intense as you think it actually is. Just going for that final kill. If he pulls it out, that's amazing. But in this situation in that tree, almost impossible.
Yeah, Indigo's gonna come up and finish the job. Indigo stands tall once again. OGN Entus,
perfect.
The favorites from Korea, get their first win of the tournament. I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a few more coming for these guys. That was clean from beginning to end.
This was a chicken dinner they could not lose. If they lost, there's something wrong with OG and Entus.